welcome along to the Invincible podcast with my man Lee Judges in the building. How you doing, mate?
Well, yeah, I'm all right. I'm okay.
Signings are rolling in.
Well, I don't know about rolling, but they're, you know...
Rolling.
Listen,
that signing came out of nowhere, didn't it? Fabio Vieira.
Unbelievable. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be really honest. Before, the fixtures come out on a day and, I wasn't that excited. And, I was a little bit down about everything. And I am still a little bit down. I'm still hurting, I think, from the end of the season. But, come out of nowhere. And when those sort of things happen, it gives me a little bit of confidence going into the rest of the window. Everybody's linking there. I don't think no one sort of knew about it.
Come out of the blue.
Come right out of the blue.
Come out of the blue, Lee. Obviously, I did the Transfer Daily show, right? And even on the day when the news broke, and it was broken by this Portuguese journalist who is the same journalist who broke the story about Darwin Núñez going to Liverpool. That morning, we were linked to two players from Porto, but it wasn't Fabio Vieira. And then all of a sudden that news came out and I was like, yeah? It just came from nowhere. And at last, I know people say, well, we signed Marquinhos, Matt Turner's, and that was done before the window. But it's been so far a painfully slow window by Arsenal. We've all been still, like you said, we're still hurting from the end of the season, finishing behind Spurs. We've seen Spurs making all these signings. We heard earlier in the week how they're signing Basuma. And we were all just sort of like, well, what's going on? When are we going to start getting busy?
Yeah.
Well, it looks like at last we're getting busy.
Yeah, and it's encouraging also that there's some other signings in the in the pipeline. It looks like Jesus is likely that's going to happen, and of course Tielemans. I'm happy if we get this Vieira, but as long as it don't affect the Tielemans deal, because we need both.
Well, the talk is we're still going to get Tielemans as well.
Yeah.
So, but you're happy with Vieira?
Listen, I'm happy with Vieira. I'll be very, very happy that come on the 5th of August against Crystal Palace, we've got Vieira, Tielemans, Perez, and Petit playing That'd be very, very nice. Then I might be a little bit more happier than what I am at this moment in time. But at this moment in time, I'm a little bit happier. But I'm going to be really honest, if he's half as good as if he's half as good as the Vieira of, and I didn't know nothing about Patrick when he first signed. I'm going to be honest.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So
and I don't know a lot about this guy.
I don't know nothing about him.
I don't know a lot about this guy. I've seen him play in the Champions League, and that's about it. I was saying, I did another stream, I think, with James, and I was telling him about a friend of mine, right? It was like, yeah, Robbie, man, we signed Vieira, man, great player. Yeah, I've seen a lot of him. So I said to him, I go, where have you seen him play then? Because I can only remember seeing that guy play once, and that was, I think it was a Champions League game. I think he was playing against Liverpool. I go, where have you seen him play? He goes, I've seen him play a lot. I go, where? Because they don't show Portuguese football on TV over here. So where have you seen him? And then he couldn't answer. He started stuttering and all that. So obviously he hadn't seen him play. No one's really seen him play, have they?
Listen, and I'm going to be really, really honest. And if you... with the name Vieira spelt exactly the same, if you ever seen him, you'd be saying something because, it's like written in the stars a little bit, like Arsene Wenger signing for Arsenal, Arsenal, Vieira. Come on, you'd have been going, this player's right for Arsenal and whatever. No one knew a thing about him. So, but listen, I didn't know nothing about Tomiyasu. I'll be really honest, I didn't know nothing.
I knew a little bit about Tomiyasu,
I
to be
didn't,
fair, but yeah.
But, he has been a fantastic signing for us. So, listen, when it comes to things like that, I'm not too worried about. I think Arsenal have done well in the transfer market with things like that. Bringing in Martinelli under this regime, I think we've done all right on that. So it's not about getting the players; it's getting the players in.
Getting them in early before pre-season.
Listen, I say this and I state this now. If Arsenal are not ready on the 5th of August, we've got a difficult game on the Friday, good old Sky, the old Dick Dastardly Sky. The reason
I know that for ages, Dick Dastardly.
The reason that they've put that on there, the reason that they've put that game, it's not because, it's to watch, not back like the old days of Arsenal on the first game of the season because they're champions or whatever. We are on Friday night for this fatal thing of like deja vu of seeing us lose. Now we need to be, when we go to Selhurst Park, we need to have all of those players there on that day, and we need to get off to a good start, Robbie, because we've got a very, very difficult month in, I think it's October.
Yep.
So if we get off to a bad start, we're going to be struggling down the bottom and middle after the table. That ain't no good. So we've got to get off to a good start with these players signed. It's no good losing a couple of games here and there in those first 4 or 5 games and then getting all the players in September like we have done. We have got to be match ready from pre-season onwards. I want to see Tielemans over in America. I want to see Vieira over in America. I want to see Jesus all over in that American tour, all getting ready. So when we go for that first game of the season, Sky can be bitterly disappointed when it goes Crystal Palace, nil.
So you think it's a setup by Sky?
Oh, of course. Of course, they've looked, you know what I mean? They've looked at those first set of fixtures. Oh, Arsenal, they're the team. Yeah, we want to see them get stuffed. That's what we want to do. Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher going like this because Arsenal, get in there and let them have a rotten Friday night when Arsenal go there and romp home and, like, you know, swim in it. Swimming it, you horrible couple of melons. You know what I mean?
It's a tough start, though, man.
Tough start, yeah, because they're rubbing their hands on it,
That first game does have. I mean, you can see why they've chosen it because
100%.
It is like the Brentford away game, isn't it?
Well, it's a business. Because it is, they're a business and they want views, and they know that that's a game that Arsenal can potentially lose, and everybody can be talking all over the weekend about Arsenal and how bad it is and all that. Like, that's what we've got to deal with. For me, I'd pin that up on the wall. Friday night, Sky. You know what I mean? It's like, isn't it, when Arsenal or a big team goes to a smaller club in the FA Cup, they're not there to see Arsenal or the big team win. They're there for the shock. They're there for the defeat. That's what they are. Those cameras and everybody at Selhurst Park is there for Arsenal to wilt and lose again, like, you know. And if you think about it, like, if Arsenal were to lose that game, that's 3 out of 4 defeats in the last Premier League games. Because I'm going to go back on the last year.
Are you including the last game?
I am including everything this year. Because you know what? There's no excuses this year. I don't want one excuse about anything. On that 5th of August, on that Friday night, I don't want Mikel going, oh, I haven't got this and I haven't got that. You've had all summer and January to sort out strikers. You know? I've also heard the news today that Eddie has signed. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
Number 14.
That's the rumour that he's going to get.
Number 14. Just get that right. Number 14.
Do you know what, though? Listen, a load of people are losing it about that. Turkish was losing it about it. Saying that, you know...
Turkish loses his wallet about everything else. He loses everything. He does.
But he was saying that, you know... I hear what he's saying. Like, Thierry Henry, 14. Aubameyang, 14.
It's a bit of pressure.
You know, what's Eddie done to earn the 14? But I'm like, yeah, but... In a way, I respect Eddie for this, right?
Theo Walcott got 14.
Theo Walcott was 14 as well. In a way, you've got to respect him because what he's saying is basically, I'm backing myself. I'm backing myself to be able to live up to, you know, that number 14 shirt. Now, whether it's the 14 that Keown wore...
Well, yeah, true. Like Martin Keown wore it. Like, listen,
maybe it's the same goal return as Keown, or whether it's going to be Thierry Henry, I don't know. But he's backing himself. Do you know what? I think he's a very confident kid, Eddie Nketiah. And I think, and I've said this before, and I've got pelters for it, I'm glad that we gave him a new contract. And I'm going to tell you this, right? I was a bit of a critic of Eddie's, right?
Well, I have been massive.
I've been a big critic of Eddie's, right? But I'm telling you, how he finished off that season.
Done okay.
I was like, he deserves. I would have been a bit upset, really, if we would have let him go. Because I was thinking to myself, he's delivered. When he's had a run in the team, he's actually delivered. Whether long term, he's the answer. Listen, he's not Harry Kane, is he? He's not a clinical striker like that. But he delivered. So I'm just looking at him and see he deserves his chance. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with giving him this contract. And if it's $100,000 a week, that's the going rate, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not like.
There's no fee or nothing that we've had to pay.
Wages and all that don't bother me. Like, you know, I mean, that's up there. Listen, there's a couple of things I have to say about Eddie, and I've been critical. Going to the Chelsea game, you know, at Stamford Bridge and all that. He was in the team and all that. We was in the pub, and the song was going about, like, you know, if Eddie Eddie starts for Arsenal, so can I. People were singing. Fans
Is that what people were singing?
Fans were singing that, like, you know what I mean?
See?
Like, yeah, right?
Before the Chelsea game.
Before the Chelsea game. Before that game, if you remember, Martinelli was left out.
Yeah.
They put in Eddie. So I think it was more of a dig at Martinelli weren't playing and Arteta and all that. But what happened? He banged in 2 goals that day, under pressure.
Big goals.
And big goals. And from that moment on, he done okay. Now, I look at it and go, right, if you was in the market for a striker, young striker that's England under-21's top goal scorer, scored 5 Premier League goals in the season, he was playing at Crystal Palace and you was to sign him for nothing, you'd be okay about it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, they would have been, listen, they would have been more than happy. I mean, and it could have been Palace.
Yeah.
Because they were one of the teams that really, really, a load of teams wanted him, by the way.
end.
Right? Getting him for free, after how he finished off the end of the season, I'm telling you, to me, I think he's got a job to do at Arsenal. He can do a job.
Yeah.
I still feel we need, even if we get Jesus, I still would like to see Arsenal get another striker, a different type of striker.
Yeah,
I'm
with you on it.
You know what I mean? Someone who's good in the air and stuff like that. But certainly I'm not against Eddie, and I don't care about the shirt. I mean, a lot of people losing their, he's going to wear the 14 shirt. So what? All I want to see him do is score goals.
And also, we done a podcast. I remember we done it, and you said like, what Premier League team would he get into? I remember you doing.
Yeah, yeah. Like, at that time, none. And at that time,
so from now to here, he has done that, and so you
exactly. Listen, you've got to hold your hands up. Yeah, you've got to hold your hands up, because at that time, when he was saying that he wants to start. And I remember we did that podcast and I said, listen, let's name out all the teams and all the strikers that are currently playing for those teams. Which one of those would he start in? And we couldn't find one.
No, not
even
one.
Even Norwich, right, who finished bottom of the league. I was like, I would start Time Pukki over Eddie. But at the end of the season, he proved himself in that he proved to me that he deserves a chance. And
he's got
his chance. What I would say, it's a big pressure now on Eddie, especially if he takes that number 14 shirt. And that's what I'm saying. I like the fact that he's not scared.
No.
And he plays like that as well. He's not scared. He doesn't hide.
He done okay towards the end of the season. He showed a bit of pace and all that. He's going to be a little bit different to Jesus if we get him. But ultimately, and I get what Arsenal fans are saying, that if we start the season off with Eddie up front and no one else, then we've got, there is cause for concern, because it wasn't good enough last season and he needs to have help in there. Also, we need to get a bit more experience there. So Jesus looks to be the one that they're going for. And do you know what we had?
Would you be happy at Jesus?
Listen, let's get it right. He's leaving Manchester City because he's surplus to requirements. Let's be honest. You know what I mean. So
that's only because they bought Haaland.
Yeah,
one of the best strikers in the world, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's how it is. You know what I mean. Like, we've got to go down that route at times, and so I'm not gonna. If he comes in, gonna back him. Am I excited about it? Where Josh Kroenke said to me to be excited about it. He's not one of those ones where everybody in the whole country wants him, and so I'm not going to be excited by it. But ultimately, I think he'll improve us and make us a better team, and that's what we want. Listen, I'll be very, very pleased if we've got him up front along with Eddie going into the first few games of the season. I'll be a little bit more confident than what I am at this moment in time. So get the deals done.
Is he the answer though?
For me, not really. If I'll be honest, when you're at Arsenal, listen. Let's be honest. We've been used to elite. The word elite strikers. You talk about Haaland and all that, like, and Nunez and Harry Kane and all that, like. We've had better than that. We've had better than that. Better players than that. We've had the best in Thierry Henry. We've also had some real good forwards going down the line. Ian Wright, you know what I mean? We've had like top, all the way through. Van Persie was quality. Adebayor, you know what I mean? He was good at work for a couple of seasons here, like, We've had some really, really good strikers. So when people go, go mad, I'm not going to go overboard about it, but he's got the potential to be up into that bracket, Robbie. You know, and so's Eddie.
I think with Jesus, it's funny because again, I know one of my friends I was talking to about Jesus, and he goes, Robbie, all the Arsenal fans getting excited over Jesus. Last year, right, everyone was saying Man City didn't have a striker. He goes, now you all getting excited, say you bought a striker. He goes,
that's a great point. That's a great point. But he did sort of play him towards the end of last season. And do you know what, Man
Remember, there was a game he scored 4 goals.
He scored 4 goals. He scored a couple of goals in the
plays up front there for Brazil.
Yeah. Listen, I don't think he was used probably the right way at Man City, but like they actually used him towards the end. But that's a great point. You know what I mean? Like what you're saying there. Like all of a sudden, like he became. This is the funny thing about Arsenal fans, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, like and probably like a lot of them would be saying like, you know, Man City didn't have a forward, but now it's just he's fantastic, isn't he? Like, you know what I mean? So.
Is that number 9? Last year,
we have kept the number 9 free at this moment.
Yeah, I think he'll probably take that, won't he?
But like, what worries me, I'm going to say, like, you know, when people go on about this Tielemans and Vieira, what numbers are they going to have? Because all the numbers now are taken, aren't they?
Who cares what number?
Well, no, I think numbers is a thing. Listen, back.
Do you know what? I used to be. That was back in the day when it was 1 to 11. To me, a number was significant. Yeah. Well, now that you can put bloody 66 on your back and things like that. Like what? Who's that?
Joe Root.
I'm not on about cricket.
Route 66 is clever. That's very good, isn't it?
Who's it? Trent Alexander-Arnold. He got 66
I think
or
he's
something.
up there, isn't he?
When you see numbers like that, what does numbers mean?
No, it don't mean nothing. Listen, I can tell you this now, right?
I don't even know the numbers of some of the players. Back in the day, I knew the number of all the players, right?
Yeah.
You knew. There was one. Now I don't even. Does it matter?
I think Xhaka chooses to have 34, doesn't he, for whatever reason?
Who cares?
But I'll tell you what, when I was back playing, if someone giving it, the manager says number 14, I wouldn't have been happy. I tell you, that means I was on the bench.
Yeah, exactly. Goalkeeper ain't even got number 1 though.
No. I don't know if Ramsdale...
What's Ramsdale's number? I don't even know. That's what I'm saying, you know?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you know what I mean? So this number thing where people getting all... You know, I don't understand it. They're getting all meltdown over numbers. I don't care. When you get on that pitch, do a job. Do a job for Arsenal.
Was you as a player, was you playing? Was you concerned what number you had, or?
Well, I'd always be in the defence.
Yeah, so I
was like centre back.
So did you like a specific number, 5 or 6, or?
No, not really.
Was happy with whatever?
Whatever. I just wanted to get on the pitch like you. I don't want to be on the bench.
Yeah.
Right. So, but I just think that things like that, those things, it's changed now. Numbers, you know, numbers don't matter. I remember when we was growing up watching football, it was 1 to 11, as I said. If you was 12, you was a sub.
Yeah.
You know, everybody had black boots.
Yeah.
You know, now it's coloured boots. You know, things change. I don't have a problem with it. All I want to see is the players get on there and do a job. Jesus, by the way, I think what I like about Jesus is that I think it's a player that has the potential to be better. And that will sound weird because listen, he's not going to be playing in a better team than what he is at Man City. And people will say, well, yeah, even at City, he had so many people to assist him. But how many times did he play as a centre forward? He didn't really, did he? He was never really that main guy up front. I think at Arsenal, he's going to be that main guy week in, week out, up front. And he's going to be the go-to guy. He's going to be like, yo, Jesus, get us a goal. Right? So I think he might flourish in that. And the other thing I think that's good, it's a World Cup year. So he's going to be trying his hardest to get into that World Cup squad. He's already in it for Brazil. But that's not a guarantee.
He wants to cement it.
Yeah, he wants to cement it. So I think he'll be trying hard with that. And I think it'd be a good sign. And I think I know it's going to be probably around about the 50 million mark. And a lot of people are saying, oh, that's a lot of money for a guy who's only got a year left on his contract. But he's a striker. And you pay premium for them. Liverpool's just had to pay 85 million for Darwin Núñez.
And the thing is with Man City...
And we don't know if Darwin Núñez is going to be able to score... stack loads of gold in the Premier League. They're buying potential, aren't they?
Yeah, and the thing is with Man City that they the money side of it isn't that much of a worry for them. Like, so they could actually say like, well, okay, we're not happy with that price, so he's staying here.
Yeah.
So it's not like when you're dealing with a Leicester where they've got to let him go, like with the Tillemans ones. You can try and negotiate.
And they know Arsenal need a striker.
Yeah, so
they can go high, and they're very smart. So you know what? You have to give it to them, right? They're going to make probably 50 million off of that. They paid 65 for Ireland.
Yeah.
So it's going to end up they probably paid 15 million in real terms.
Yeah. You know, like I will say this about Jesus, because we had the conversation with Richarlison the other day, didn't we? Saying about with Real Rev, and a couple of points we made. If he was to come to Arsenal, I had a conversation with someone the other day and we were saying about it. He said he's in and out of Man City. He's not. Do you know when you go in?
Yeah.
When you walk into the team meeting on a Friday, say that he's never quite sure if he's playing or he's not. He's in. So when he's in, he's got the pressure of it. He knows if he comes to Arsenal, he walks into that team meeting. I'm the main man. £50 million, bosh, and that could enhance him to be an even better player.
That's what I feel.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. I feel that he's the sort of guy, looks like he has a mentality that we'll thrive with that I'm the main guy, I'm here. And he's still young, and he's been in the Premier League now for about, 3 seasons at least. So he knows the league inside out. He knows the players he's coming up against, where the grounds he's going to. And, you know, he's experienced. I mean, he's won multiple trophies. You know what I mean? He's won FA Cups, leagues, everything. So to me, I think it'd be a good signing. I really do.
And also, he's got a point to prove.
He's got a serious point to prove.
You know, so like, you know, let's just hope we get it done. Like, you know, as I said, I want to see us getting a few signs, because when those fixtures come out, I'm going to be honest, Robbie, and I you know,
fixtures ain't easy.
No, and they've not thinking to myself, oh, I'm looking forward to those games. I'm not looking forward to the season at this moment in time, because you know at this minute there's a few banana skins and a few defeats there, unless they get themselves sorted out. You know,
we have to get off to a good start, because when I look at October, right, where that's the month where we've got Tottenham, we've got Liverpool, City, all in that month.
I think Leeds as well.
Leeds in that month, yeah.
Away, Leeds
and then November, just before we break to go to the World Cup, we got Chelsea away, Wolves away.
Yeah, 2 away games, right.
Yeah. So we have to get off to a good start.
The fixtures haven't been nice to us, have they? It's 4 years. I think 4 seasons we've been away from home on the first day, apart from one when we had Man City at home. Thanks for that. Like, you know what I mean? And then you look at other teams getting Fulham at home and getting like
Tottenham got Southampton at home.
You know what I mean? Frankly, that's a night. Even though they beat Tottenham, like that's a gimme.
Yeah.
And then like the last game of the season, we always seem to be at home, but we got like the last 5 away games for us.
Yeah, it's tough.
Tough
running, man. Tough running.
So if we get off to a bad start,
we've got City in the
trouble.
We're in trouble. No. If we get off to a bad start,
we are in trouble.
We are in trouble.
We're in trouble.
Because when we get to that October, if we ain't got, like, you know, we're in trouble, because that's our... I would say with that run, some of those games are at home. So that helps. But it's a tough run. And that's why I agree with what you're saying. We need to assemble a squad that's ready to go right from the start of the season. At the start of the season, we're ready.
Yeah.
Players are, you know, especially this season. You know, we've got to be ready to go, because it's such a weird season with the World Cup coming right in the middle of it. And, you know, remember, after November, you're going to have the break. We don't come back until Boxing Day. You know, so we got to be ready on all fronts. And I'm like you. I want to see all these players in before the pre-season.
Well, exactly, and I want to. And one of the reasons that I want to see them all in is because then what it would do is give you belief that the owners and the management team are wanting the same things as what we want. We know at this moment in time we're not going to challenge with Manchester City and Liverpool. We know that, but ultimately the aim is to get there. You know, we've built the foundations on even though that. It was disappointing at the end. The foundations were put there last season. We've now got to kick on. And like, if you go out that first game of the season, Robbie, and say for instance, in that first game of the season, we've got 4 players over the line. You know what I mean? And still a bit of the transfer window to go where we could do a little bit of business at the end of it, which still would be key. But ultimately, you're thinking, I'm liking that. Tillemans.
Yeah, a bit of excitement.
There's a bit of excitement.
Like they said, be excited. You know, them sort of things where, you know, you're going along to the first game of the season.
5 subs
and you're looking 5 subs, yep. You're looking forward to seeing all the new players. And the youngsters are out there getting, you know, Jesus and Tielemans and Vieira on the back of their shirt and all stuff like that.
Never thought I'd get Vieira on the back of my shirt again. But there you go. But like, no, it's true. It's true. You want to have that buzz, didn't you, in that first game of the season? Like, I never had it last season. You knew what was coming, Robbie, you know, because not only that, when we had Brentford, we had Chelsea and Man City afterwards. You know, I actually said we'll probably end up with going into the international break on no points last season, and it happened. And then it's the season. You're up against it, or you're swimming against the tide all season. We've got to get off to a good start. Now, if we was to beat Crystal Palace, and then we've got Leicester, and then
I was just looking at it here. It's
Bournemouth,
Crystal Palace, Leicester at home, Bournemouth away, Fulham at home, Villa at home. That's the first set of games in August.
Realistically, that after that Crystal Palace game, I'm not saying any of them are easy, but if you've got the proper players in place, they're games you can go, do you know what?
Go on a run.
We're going to go on a run and win these sort of games.
Yeah, because then you get into September, Man United at home, Everton away, and Brentford away. Then we break for international break. Then we come back after that, and then this is that October I was talking about.
Go on, read it out. Go on.
Arsenal versus Spurs, Arsenal versus Liverpool, Arsenal away at Leeds, Arsenal home to Man City, away at Southampton, who, by the way, we lost there last year, at home to Nottingham Forest. That is October.
And then away at Chelsea. So those
and then then November, the 2 games in November, which are the last 2 games before you go away to the World Cup. Away at Chelsea, home against Wolves.
Away at Wolves as well. Both
away at Wolves, sorry.
So, you know, those 3 home games are tough games. Tottenham, Liverpool, Man City, but they are all home. We have got to pick up points because at the back end of the season, we're away all them 3.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so that you know, listen, we always do well against Tottenham at home. They do, you know, so like, and they beat us away. But they're going to be a different animal this season. They are.
Yeah. Then looking towards the end of the season, the running. Well, actually, before we get to the end of the season, on what was the month? I think it was March. Is it March? Yeah, March. No, it's April.
Yeah, that's when we've got all the away games.
Yeah, April.
Away at Liverpool.
So April, Leeds at home, 1st of April.
Yeah.
Then followed up by Liverpool away, West Ham away, Southampton at home, Man City away, and Chelsea at home.
Then Newcastle away.
Then May the run in is Newcastle away, bit like last year, right? Brighton at home. Remember they always throw a spanner in the works, right? Beat us at home last year. Forest away. Now, remember the last couple of times we've been there in the FA Cup? And as I was saying to the guys the other day, I mean, as a newly promoted team, they could have a fight on at the end there, whereas that game...
100%, that's a bit of a worry.
Yeah, and the last game, Wolves at home. Not an easy game for your last... Wolves nearly turned over flipping Liverpool when they were going for the title on their last game. So that's not an easy run-in either.
No, so...
Got to be picking up points.
What's it tell you? What's it tell you?
Telling me that we've got to be picking up points consistently throughout the season.
Yeah, and
telling me that we've got to have a big squad. And then even taking into account things like how many players are we going to have away at the World Cup?
Yeah, and they're going to come back mentally, physically. You know, people really. I'm going to say this, and a few fans they've got my goat a little bit. I'm going to be really honest, like that.
As usual.
Yeah, as usual. No, because they turn around and say, "Well, if we bring in, we was moaning about Basuma and all that, well, if we're bringing him, what's going to happen with Partey? You know what I mean? Partey hasn't hardly played, Robbie, in a season when we haven't had Europe.
I agree with you.
So at the end of the day, when Partey's not playing, if you've got a Vieira or a Tielemans coming in there, the quality is still at the same standard.
Of course.
So why are we worried about if Partey's going to get games or if Tierney's going to get games? They don't. They're on the bench as much as they're on the pitch.
Exactly. You know what? As well, with this World Cup in mind, right? I'm just going through the squad. So, I'll take out Leno because obviously he's going to be gone, right?
What number is Ramsdale, by the way? Is it his number on there?
Ramsdale's 32, so he's not number one. Leno's actually has the number one shirt. But Ramsdale will go to the World Cup.
Yeah.
Right? Tierney won't be going to the World Cup. Ben White will be at the World Cup. Gabriel might be at the World Cup. Yeah. He's burst into the squad. Holding won't be at the World Cup. Cedric could be at the World Cup.
He's got potential, hasn't he?
Tommy Asu will be at the World Cup. Right? Nuno Tavares might not even be here. He might be away on loan. Thomas Partey will be at the World Cup. Saka will be at the World Cup. Odegaard won't be at the World Cup. Smith Rowe's got an outside chance, right? Sambi Lokonga's got an outside chance with Belgium. El Neni won't be at the World Cup. Xhaka will be at the World Cup. Pepe...
I'm not so sure if he'll be here.
Pepe, Ivory Coast, I don't think they made the World Cup, did they? Eddie Nketiah will be at the World Cup with Ghana.
Well, there's strong rumours about
that.
Yeah,
he's going to be. I think, and if he, I think that's going to be confirmed. He'll be at the World Cup with Ghana. Outside chance for Martinelli.
Yeah.
Right, that he could be at the World Cup. Right. Saliba probably be at the World Cup. We're complaining about the last 3 games. Some of these other guys here now, looking at, they'll probably be all gone. That's like the majority of the squad at the World Cup. If we bring in Jesus, he'll be at the World Cup.
Yeah.
Tielemans will be at the World Cup.
Yeah.
This Fabio Vieira, he's with the under 20. He's mainly playing with the under 21s. He has a few good.
So he's got an outside chance.
He's got an outside chance. I know some of those players will probably come back early, maybe because if they get knocked out, but they've still been away.
Yeah,
so
but
again,
how you need when they've got knocked out and react.
Exactly. That needs to be taken into account.
Yeah.
Even in buying some players. That's why the other day I was saying that even a Basuma is a good shout as a player to buy.
Yeah, because he's
with Mali at the World Cup.
Yeah.
And he's a Premier League ready player. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how much into account we take that with the signings that we make.
Because it's going to be a different season this season, isn't it? Like, because of this World Cup. Like, we've never experienced it. Don't know what it's like. So
I think you're going to get some funny results this season.
Yeah,
because of it.
I don't. You don't know how they're going to come. Back playing.
Yeah, could come back injured from the World Cup.
Yeah, it's just so many
come back
things.
Fatigued from the World Cup. Any money you're going to see players come back, and the manager's going to have to be like, "We're going to have to rest him. He's come back from the World Cup, picked up a little knock.
Yes,
not quite ready yet." And then some of the players we got staying, like Tierney, they could be injured anyway.
We don't. Yeah, exactly. But the other side of it is, if you have got someone injured, they could recover by the time it starts. There's all different things, isn't there? That's
why there's a couple of signings out there. Someone like a Zinchenko, he won't be at the World Cup. That might be a good shout for a signing.
Can play in a couple of positions as well.
Yeah. And how is the break for the World Cup going to affect a team like Arsenal? I'm not even just on about the players that have gone to the World Cup. How do you stay? Because you would have played all those games leading up to the break, and you're really, we know these, and you're fine-tuned athletes, right? How do you come back after it? We saw how we came back after that international break, and then we went and lost 3 games in a row. We were flying before that international break. Remember that?
Yeah. What happens during that thing? They must have a little bit of a break holiday, and then back in training. Will they go and play friendlies, or what
that's what I'm saying. With Arsenal, they must be going to have to play friendlies.
You can't. Yeah, you're going to have to do something.
Must be going to have to play friendlies. I'm wondering if you see a few teams. I bet you see a few teams go abroad and play friendlies.
Well, something's going to happen.
Because I remember there was even talking about Celtic and Rangers playing. Remember they were going to play this derby
some sort of thing
in Australia, and it caused a big outrage amongst their fans. They didn't want to have the Old Firm derby abroad, but they were going to play that in Australia before the World Cup. Right, so that shows me already that teams are thinking of going and playing friendlies, possibly abroad.
You can't say like, I just bring out our players, Odegaard who's not going and all that. Like, so right on the 12th of November when it finishes, that last game against Wolves, your next game is the 26th of December So that you can't just say, right, you can train and train and train.
6
or
weeks.
6 weeks, and then, like, right, you're back at it. They've got to have some sort of in-house friendlies or bringing people. There must be something they're going to have to do.
They're going to have to play friendlies.
Yeah.
So, again, how do you then come back after? It's a real challenge.
Yeah.
Same for all teams, but I just feel this season, don't be surprised you see some surprise results, because you could have a team that's flying up until the World Cup, and then they come back, they've dropped off.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, what happens if your best player gets injured?
So that goes back to what you were saying about where players are. Where's he going to play? You're going to need a big good squad.
100%. And Arsenal need to strengthen their squad because
big time.
Because this season we've got Europa League as well. Now, in the early stages, you can rotate and give.
Yeah, you can have a Balogun in there.
Because you know at the end of it, you're going to. You should get into the top two, you know what I mean, like, without a doubt. And if you don't, something needs to be said. And then come those games in after January, when you have Sunday, Thursday, Sunday, which emotionally, physically, mentally, they're tough games because they're quarterfinals, semi-finals, and all that. Like, you're going deep into that competition. You are going to need everybody on it and a big squad. And, like, we've crumbled without that European football last season. Let's be honest, we lost Partey. I do think this, if we'd have had Partey and Tierney available, I think we would have maybe got it. But they weren't. So you need to if one of them gets injured again, which they will do, because statistics tell you that they will, you've got to have someone as good or not even better than them coming in and doing it.
We need a big squad, and then you've got to take into account the red cards.
Well, anything, you know what I mean?
Because we got a history of that as well.
Yeah, so anything,
that's like injuries as well.
We need that. I get this thing when people go, "Oh, Saliba going to come back and get games?" Of course, he's going to come back and get games. You know what I mean? Because
I'd argue that we need another centre back after that, because what we're going to have: Rob Holding and Saliba, Ben White and Gabriel. Right? I'd argue we need another.
Well, we've got Mari coming back.
They're gonna sell Mari.
But
Mari, a lot of clubs in Italy after him.
Yeah, so
he had a good loan spell.
4 or 5. 4 or 5 difficult to keep 4 or 5.
They won't get it. They'll just stick with 4. And, we can throw Xhaka in there and stuff like that. I don't think we should be in the throw this player in it. Not this season. Need a big squad.
No, and I also think that if Ben White is not not playing well, or Gabriel, or whatever, they've both had their shaky moments in the. You know that Saliba's sitting on there, or he's around the back. If you don't play that well, he's going to come in, and you might not.
Plus, as well, we're going to have to be. I don't know if you saw the interview I did with Mikel Silvestre.
Yes, I see that. Yeah,
and he was very pointing it out. He liked Saliba a lot, but he made the point that, listen, he's coming into the Premier League totally different league to Liga.
Yeah, he did say
he goes, and you're going to have a lot of patience with him. He goes, he will have a lot of shaky moments. It's going to be a big transition for him.
Yeah, listen, that's why I think it's going to be good for him to be playing those Europa League games first and foremost. That's where I see him playing first of all. Getting his feet under the table, if you like, for those games and the League Cup and that, and then seriously challenging for a place in January.
Yep. Well, listen, there's a lot to ponder, but at least there's a little bit.
We're a little bit happening what we was yesterday.
Yeah, a little bit of activity going on.
Yeah, well, no, listen, we wasn't. Let's be right. We weren't happy yesterday when those fixtures come out. No signings. We weren't happy. We're a little bit more optimistic with the news that we've got one already, and it's looking like
Vieira. And Henry's coming soon.
Henry,
As James said, Rico Henry. from Brentford. Well, listen, thanks for listening to the podcast and also for watching it as well. Don't forget to subscribe here to AFTV. Don't forget to check out the Claude Cup, right? That's going to be the inaugural Claude Cup that we're going to be playing in the memory of Claude. Of course, he used to feature heavily here on AFTV, who sadly passed away. We're doing this cup for him. 4 teams competing for the Claude Cup, including AFTV FC, Hackney Wick, SC Dons and the Wall FC. 4 massive YouTube teams. we're also going to be giving you details of how you can come on the day. It's going to be taking place at the New River Stadium. Do you know where that is?
Yeah, White Hart Lane.
White Hart Lane. It's on White Hart Lane. Yeah. That would have made Claude happy.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, he's going to be taking... He's been there actually many times, Claude, with AFTV FC, because remember, he used to be part of the management team there.
Yeah.
So they're going to be playing the game there, and... the main reason is we're trying to raise funds for the Gunnar Claude charity, or the Gunnar Claude Trust, should I say, that was set up by his daughter. They raise money and they do such events like helping to make people go to watch games.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
It's a brilliant cause. They help out kids as well, right? So you're going to be able to donate leading up to the game. If you can make it on the day, you can pay to get in, and all of the money is going to go towards that cause as well. We'll be raising as much money as we can for the Gunnar Claude Trust. So look out for that. That is taking place on Sunday, the 26th of June at the New River Stadium. Doors open at 12 till 5 p.m. And we're going to be playing for the Claude Trophy. Looking for the Claude Cup.
Claude Cup. It's a good name.
Claude Cup, right? Which, more than Tottenham ever won.
The only trophy at White Hart Lane.
The only trophy at White Hart Lane. Trust me, Claude would love that. He'd love that. Thanks for watching the show, and we'll see you next week. The Invincible podcast. Myself, Robbie, and Lee Judges come together once a week to discuss all things Arsenal. Straight talking, considered discussion, brought to you by the fans of the only club in Football League history to go invincible.